So our topic today is the future of e-commerce, and I think we've got to talk about like where it's been, where it is now, where it's going, like where we see it, and basically we've got to get our predictions on and see how you and I believe e-commerce is evolving, maybe in the next 5 to 10 years, and that's sort of what we're going to chat about today. So, Cal, in your opinion, what was e-commerce like 10 years ago?
Oh my gosh. 10 years ago, it's actually quite nice to compare. I mean, I lived in South Africa for the last how many years?
You're South African? Oh, jeez.
And e-commerce in South Africa is obviously very different to sort of UK, US. But living in London over 10 years ago, I won't tell you when.
Showing us your age.
I mean, e-commerce was there. You could shop online. I think quite specifically, I feel like lead times have been reduced quite substantially in the last 10 years. So where shopping online, yes, it was convenient to do, but it wasn't sort of that almost instant gratification that it is now.
We know why, because Amazon drove that with their next day delivery. I mean, even in some cases, it's same day delivery, and if you're a small D2C brand, you've got to compete. You've got to compete with that.
Absolutely.
So there's no more waiting for those 2-3 weeks. You've forgotten that you've even bought that thing at that stage.
On that note, how do you think merchants are? Well, let me maybe rephrase. Do you think many merchants are sort of utilizing that Amazon platform because Amazon is such a, I want to say a monopoly. I mean, it is really a monopoly. There's not really much that competes with Amazon. Specifically Shopify brands, there is no central warehouse for all of them like Amazon, where everything is dispatched and next day delivery. Do you think that there are a lot of sort of Shopify stores that are utilizing Amazon just so that they can be found in sort of Amazon Marketplace?
I think, I mean, there's a lot of brands that obviously started on Amazon and then have gone D2C themselves or trying to go their D2C. And that's still a big struggle for a lot of big Amazon sellers. It's the fact that they're going, hey, we're still on a platform and basically we're at the mercy of this big platform. And if they want to change things, they can. If they want to go and, change the algorithm to be a competitive brand and actually bring it. I mean, they've done this. They've brought up competitive brands to things that they know have done well, and they can consume your business and null and void your business within a day.
And I guess sort of one of the difficulties of merchants selling on Amazon is that they don't own that customer data, and essentially that's what you need.
Exactly, that's sort of the beauty of having your own store, having your own D2C business is you own that store, you own data, you own the experience. But to circle back to what you said, I know we're getting slightly off topic here, but it is ultimately talking about this future. We're talking about a place where you can have that fulfillment network, and I think Shopify were trying to do that. They were trying to buy out fulfillment houses, and I think they knew that it's a very difficult space. They're still investing in it. And I think it is going to be something that's going to become more and more important as we get going. So, 100%, the quicker, the faster. It's that instant gratification, like you said. Like, the moment you put that credit card in and you make that purchase, your customer satisfaction is just going down. It's got nothing to do with the fact. It's just that we always want to exchange, human nature, you want to exchange something. You want to give something and get something back. So the minute you've paid, you're going, oh, I've paid. Okay, well, buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse, oh, what is it? I don't like it. This thing hasn't arrived yet. Oh, geez, I haven't had that satisfaction of getting that product yet. So I mean, that's where the importance of email marketing comes in, the communication from the brand at that point. Those communication about, when that shipping time is, when you can expect it, is so important. But I wouldn't say it is the future, but that's also the current.
I mean, if Shopify could do distribution, not necessarily the logistics themselves, but you know what I mean, sort of having warehouses where they do fulfillment for Shopify brands, can you imagine, like, that would be a very real competitor to Amazon if everything's sort of centrally located. I think there's a lot more to it though. I mean, if you're buying from different brands or from Shopify, could they fulfill them together? Could they send them together? Like, is there a way to reduce that cost? I mean, it's something that I know we've talked about quite a lot.
I suppose you need adoption on a massive scale as well from the D2C brands.
Absolutely.
And is it something they want to do? They're already doing that on Amazon. Maybe they want to control that whole system. They want to control the experience. So, we've got the younger generation that's coming through that actually doesn't mind, which is weird. It's almost going the other way. That doesn't mind having that sort of bespoke experience with a particular D2C brand that only sells, vegan leather shoes, for instance. Like that's what they want to do. And they don't want to go and shop off Amazon because it's just this big beast that doesn't necessarily
very
care
ethically driven.
Well, from my perspective, let's go back to like the original sort of topic, where it's come from. It's like, and I've spoken about this quite a bit on our socials and stuff. E-commerce is maturing. It's still such a young industry. It's like there's still so many people playing around in this space that are going like, let's just try shit. Let's throw whatever we can at the wall, see what sticks. I mean, you don't really want shit to stick to the wall, but you know the saying. And I think that's sort of got to a point where there's been a lot of lessons learned. A lot of people have, there's more research that's coming out. There's people are now studying this at university. There's like actual research articles about e-commerce now. And you've got a lot of like real experts in these fields now and like very specific. Whereas like back in the day, everybody was just winging it almost.
It's so true and it's so interesting. So at university, I studied marketing, BCom in marketing, and part of our course was a 6-month in like web design. I mean, you can't really learn web design in 6 months, but anyway, just to give us like sort of an understanding about it, writing code, etc. But at no point was there a subject dedicated to sort of internet marketing and e-commerce marketing.
Yeah, it was so dated.
And I mean, I didn't study all that long ago. I mean, it's not all that long ago.
E-commerce, like literally,
really
it
new.
Existed when we were at university. And it just wasn't, it takes universities, unfortunately, a bit of time to catch up. But it's catching up now.
It is catching up.
There are many degrees in e-commerce right now that you can actually go out and do. Okay, so on that note, what trends do you think are defining the e-commerce landscape now?
Such a difficult question. What do you think?
You can't pass the questions back to me.
Watch me. I mean, you could go down so many different avenues in terms of trends. I think, from our perspective, and we relatively niche, we work with pretty niche clients in specific industries. I feel like subscription products is a very clever way for businesses to sort of make sure that they are in business for the long haul. And the improvements to subscription apps and integrations for platforms like Shopify, I think have also come such a long way. And I think if you were a smart business person, that would be what you need to get into, subscriptions. And that may not necessarily be a subscription product. You get membership subscriptions as well. So there are different ways to kind of approach it. Not every product is going to be a subscribable product or a membership type based platform. But I think if merchants are clever, it's probably a good way to sort of make sure they're on that upward trajectory.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I think, you're probably focusing there on one of the trends that sort of solves the general issue of something that's going on in e-commerce right now where, okay, it's been going on for a bit. It's not actually new at the moment. Customer acquisition costs are high. They're only going to go higher. We know that. It's literally, it's not possible for these costs to come down. It's unit economics. It's inflation, everything. It's going to get more expensive unless there's something new and radical that comes out, like what Facebook did that many years ago.
Facebook was
let people D2C brands exist.
For brands that got in on that Facebook train at the beginning were just absolutely crushing it.
There are new things coming out, but unfortunately, those ones, they're coming out with their monetization for their ads. TikTok already, it's like it's just still not as cheap as what Facebook ads was when it first started.
Absolutely.
You know? And
TikTok,
that's why D2C exploded, because it was the ability for you to go and create a product, put it on a Shopify store within a week, advertise on Facebook, sell.
Do you know, I've never even thought about that's how D2C grew so quickly.
Yeah.
And you're so right. There was a lot to do with Facebook advertising. And I mean, even with TikTok now, I mean, TikTok is something that's up and coming,
but it's expensive.
And you've got to be clever.
You've got to be good.
Because people don't want to watch ads. If it says ad, they're not going to want to watch it. So you've actually got to be really, really smart with your marketing there.
I think, even looking at TikTok, I think when it's an ad, it's like, you know how normally the video just repeats itself?
Yes.
When it's an ad, it stops and there's like a call to action, but you're like, okay, you're ruining my experience. I just wanted to watch that again. It's a different experience.
It is a different experience, but it's just that little ad tag at the beginning that puts me off. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, it's like instantly just scroll off. And I'm not getting.
Yeah.
It's like Netflix. Of course, you're going to pay for the premium version. You don't want to watch ads.
Yeah. Well, I guess on that note, in terms of trends, you're probably going to find a lot of brands trying to leverage their affiliate marketing to position their advertising in a way that it doesn't appear to be an advert. And I know that brands are doing that now already.
But legally, you still got to say it's an ad though.
You do, but it doesn't have that like ad tag because it's not like a paid for ad on TikTok necessarily. So a clever way of getting around it. But I mean, the affiliates have got to be quite clever at how they sort of do those content creators.
So I mean, for me, it's like that acquisition cost. That's the biggest driver in terms of where we're going. And what you're saying with subscriptions is that's a way to have repeat business or customer retention. Yeah. And essentially, it's like going, okay, there's two ways to make money. One, we can acquire new customers. The other one is we can retain our existing customers.
Yep.
That whole maturity of the market going, you know what? We can't just burn through cash to acquire a new customer, because ultimately that new customer, in a lot of cases, for a lot of brands, you're normally losing on your first customer these days, because it's actually that expensive for you to acquire somebody. So you're going, I have to retain this person for a longer period and build up that customer lifetime value to make sure that, ultimately, if you can get a high customer lifetime value, who cares what your customer acquisition cost is, as long as your ratio is good.
You do care, so long as your customer lifetime value is more than.
But I mean, if I say to you that every customer that comes through the door is going to make you in profit $1,000, you're going to go, okay, well, I will pay $500 to acquire that customer. Then it's worth it. I know I'm using an extreme. There's not many people that are paying $500 to acquire a customer, but there are certain brands that the acquisition cost is that silly high. And they need people to come back and actually be a repeat customer.
Yeah, and I think you're right. That's sort of how e-commerce has matured, in the sense that it's not just about how many new visitors you have or on-site sessions you're having. Yeah. It's what is that returning customer rate like, and what are they spending? Yeah. Can we get that average order value up?
I mean, and you think about the competition in the market, there's so many brands. It doesn't matter what niche you're in. There are so many brands that are competing
so much competition.
With you. And, you're competing on that micro level now of like differentiating yourself, stories, etc. But ultimately, every other brand's also got a story, and it's just about who you resonate with. Yeah. And with that target market, build that community around it. But with that target market and that community, make sure people are coming back and shopping with you and actually becoming loyal to your brand instead of to the big beasts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's the sort of trend that I feel is the biggest driver right now. Let's flip that now to go, okay, well, that's like sort of macroeconomics. What, in your opinion, what technology is driving e-commerce right now?
Yeah, I think you just mentioned loyalty, and I think that is sort of key for brands. There's just so much competition. How do you stand out versus your competitors? You want your customers to have the sense of loyalty to you, and great opportunity. I mean, loyalty programs have come leaps and bounds, sort of encouraging loyalty with a brand. And I think email marketing platforms, like that is such a key, if you want to try and circumvent the acquisition costs, I mean, you're not going to circumvent them, but you've got people coming. How do you keep them coming back, even if they've not spent with you for the first time? So they're not actually customers just yet. So making sure that you have email marketing automations that are educating these people, that are giving them a sense of who you are as a brand, and how you can add benefit to their life, such a crucial component. And I mean, all of this technology has just grown leaps and bounds from, 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
There was like nectar points, and that was about it.
10 years ago, like we just said, you check out the Shopify store, and I think it was like bundle builder apps. It was like, that's how smart you were getting with like, it was, the technology now sort of blows my mind. Like the apps that we're getting shown, like early days, like to, hey guys, partner with us. And you look at that and you're like, this is genius. But like also, you guys have all these other competitors, and you're going to be competing for this space on a product page, for instance.
Well, speaking of which, Reba, AI technology for you may like recommendations. That is just phenomenal.
Yeah, their AI is crazy intelligent, like how it can match it and search previous orders.
And super powerful.
Yeah, and you think of the other one, video-wise, video shopping.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, and then you've got Confer With, which is your customer support live video shopping. Like, all these things did not exist 10, 15 years ago.
Would your internet bandwidth be able to video shop 10 years ago? Maybe
but
not.
you're literally just going, you're offering your customers so many different ways to shop with you, so many different ways to discover products. The search engine out. So there's loads of them. It's like, you don't even know which one to pick, because ultimately you got to pick the one that's like just right for your brand or your niche or whatever it is.
And integrates with all your other technology that you are currently using.
Yeah. You're talking about email marketing. How old is email marketing?
Yeah.
Email marketing is such a, I suppose if you told somebody 50 years ago email marketing's old, they'd look at you like, what's email? But do you know what I mean? Like, email marketing's been around since basically emails have existed, and it's like, it's come back.
Or it's definitely made a comeback. In a big way. In a very big way.
And I think that's all to do with people's preferences. They've learned that email is not like their, for instance, like if a brand WhatsApps me, like, you're dead to me.
If anyone WhatsApps me.
Brands do not WhatsApp me. Like, that is my personal, I don't even want work stuff on WhatsApp.
I fully agree.
And I think a lot of people think the same way with SMS. And then there's people that actually think that about email. They'll go, brands, SMS me rather, but don't email me because I'm unsubscribing.
Maybe detouring slightly. In South Africa, SMS marketing is huge, way bigger than the UK.
I don't even open my SMSs.
No, me neither, because I was spammed with SMSs all the time. So for me, I prefer email because I want it to be less invasive. However, the brands that I love, I'm like, sure, you can SMS me. Yes, I want to know when you're having a sale. I want all of that sort of access. So it's...
I suppose so, yeah. It's all about preferences, and I think for me, that's where tech has gone. Tech has gone to a place where you can cater to all your different people that are in your market.
And you know what we're sort of talking about, with not even really mentioning it, is personalization. So emails come so far, and you can personalize everything. Klaviyo, you can have different blocks for your different customers that will only show to the customers that you want it to show to for that particular thing. So, it's just wild how far you can sort of drive personalization with email marketing.
Yeah. I know nothing about email marketing. That's not my division at this company. But you can figure out if the person opens an email or if they open an SMS, and then tailor the preferences around that, right?
Absolutely.
That's like the highest level of personalization. You can then niche down into things that they have integrated, what they have clicked on. Make sure they see more of that type of stuff.
It goes even further than that. You can sort of segment according to like the products that they've purchased. So if you know that they are interested in this particular product, maybe they'll be interested in something that's within that suite of products as well. So it's really great for sort of talking to, and that's how you convert, right? You've got to talk to your customers as like a person, knowing their interests and personalizing that experience for them.
Quizzes. First-party data. Zero-party data. First-party data.
I actually had a call with one of our quiz partners yesterday, and I was just like, when we get a CVO client, we're like, you need a quiz. Like, it is the first thing. You can just capture all of those profile properties depending on each question you've asked them, and then completely personalize that experience for them with their email marketing.
Yeah.
And we've seen some great results with that. Some brilliant results.
So, I mean, we've obviously talked about current situation now a lot, and there's a lot of excitement. One thing we haven't even touched on yet is AI. Yes, we have in terms of personalization, but how do you see brands using AI? I'm talking about ChatGPT. I'm talking about Bard. I mean, we live in Stratford upon Avon. I really should have remembered that quicker than that. But, old Shakespeare, he's got a bit of an AI tool named after him. How do you see brands leveraging that right now?
Oh my goodness. I think there is just so much that you could do with AI. We have seen apps that are doing sort of AI generated chat.
Yeah.
Just as like your customer service management.
What's your feelings on that?
As someone who works in an agency or someone who shops online? Because I think my feelings are different.
What's your feeling what's your feelings? I mean, for me, I find that if you're going to fake it, if you're going to say to me that I'm chatting to a human and I'm not, and I'm chatting to a robot, that's unethical. I don't like that.
I fully agree with you. And I mean, just my personal values are like open, honest communication. So if I know that I'm speaking to AI, sure.
Let me chat to AI. It's fine.
I actually did this last night. I was trying to return something to a very big brand store that I'd bought something from, and there was a fault with it. And I started chatting with their AI. And eventually I just wrote, help me. I was like, I need to speak to an agent. And it worked. I was like, yes, keywords, help me. And they were like, we are connecting you with an agent. I was like, perfect. That's exactly what I needed at this moment in time.
I've done something too. I got, human, please. Stop. Human, please.
I wonder how many phrases they have to sort of like, what are synonyms for this phrase? And then enter all of those to connect with an agent.
Yeah, I think we're probably still there are times when AI obviously just isn't a human, and it can't do that rationalization of realizing that it's maybe wrong, and it's like you try and correct it, but it's just it goes down the wrong path, and you're like, geez.
Yeah. Here's one to think about. So we've been talking about video shopping as an example. AI, pretty soon, if not already, I think there are paid for AI tools that you can use. Brands could be generating video content through AI. Like, it could not even be real. It could not be a real person. It could be AI generated people.
Day. I mean, it was horrible, but I did it the other day.
Was it when you were Kane?
Bobby Trans, somebody made me put my photo on, and they sent it to me. One of my friends sent me as Ken. I don't know what the very, very, very odd experience.
I can't say I didn't hop on that trend.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
It was, the picture of your husband was the funniest.
Picture of your wife was fire.
She was wearing like leather, wasn't she?
She was like, I need some leather pants now.
We're getting very distracted.
Sorry.
So I did it the other day. I think there was a plugin. There's actually a plugin with what's CapCut.
Oh,
you can plug it into ChatGPT.
No way.
So you can do the script for the video, and then you just go, CapCut, create me a video. Now the video was like, it's like when it's just like those random images that like pick up on one word within what you've said, but then like the voiceover, like everything was just like a bit like meh.
But AI in its infancy.
I've seen those type of videos on the likes of TikTok, Instagram, etc. So people are doing
That's
it.
crazy.
Like, I wouldn't put that out. There's no ways. Like I looked at it, I was like, that is a load of rubbish.
Yeah.
But I think there's way to automate it, and also I've noticed with the SEO tools, you can literally write articles with SEO focused on particular keywords for your brand.
Cheapers.
In the matter of seconds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I mean, content, it's overload at the moment.
Coming back to video AI, come down this Britney Spears rabbit hole with me, please. So, supposedly, all the videos that we're seeing of Britney Spears are AI generated. And I watch a lot of it on TikTok. I hate to admit it. And there are people that actually decipher like how you can see that it's a face filter AI generated. So like there's a person dancing, but they're putting a filter over that person to make them look like Britney Spears. And with AI, like the hands are always like not right, like long fingers or missing thumbs, or like you can tell by the hands, right? So I've gone down this rabbit hole. But affiliate marketing, marketing with celebrities, how do you know? I mean, there was that famous one of Tom Cruise and Paris Hilton. It was neither of them. It was completely AI generated. At what point do brands start faking celebrity AI for like brand endorsement deals? Hey?
No, but yeah.
I mean, super unethical, probably, but...
I mean, when is a celebrity getting paid for this? I don't know. It's just... Yeah,
well, I mean...
It blows my mind.
There's the rabbit hole for you.
Yeah, that is a rabbit hole. I'm not going further down that rabbit hole.
I'll send you some Britney Spears content.
Okay, so if you were the betting type, what would you put your money on being the next trend, think whack, in the next 5 to 10 years?
Trend in terms of sort of e-commerce trend?
Yeah, some crazy thing that might happen in e-commerce over the next 5, 10 years.
Oh, goodness.
Considering where we're going.
I think it's all going to be around AI. I really do. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't want to speculate. But I think we are going to see an explosion of technology utilizing AI specifically for e-commerce stores. It's probably going to be expensive. It's probably going to be, I want to say rudimentary, but I mean, it's AI rudimentary. And I think it's going to explode. I'm sure you've got some ideas of what you think is coming up.
I mean, I don't. I feel like you couldn't even predict what AI was going to do a year ago. Yeah. And I feel like what this latest round of AI has done is just open up crazy possibilities.
Yeah.
If I had to go completely whack, I'd say we're going to some sort of 3D shopping model, whereas it's going to be way more immersive. It's not literally going to be a flat screen you're looking at. It's going to be like, I'm not even saying that you're putting on your headset to do this or whatever. I'm thinking like somehow the website's going to be 3D and you're going to go in and you're going to shop.
I'm so sure I saw an article about this.
There was a website that was doing it the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it was super tedious trying to shop on it. It wasn't great, but I feel like that might be the route that we're going here.
Super
where you may be interacting with your customer service agent at a desk, almost like you're walking into a traditional shop.
I mean, as it is, we've got 3D models, in Shopify stores at the moment. In fact, I saw one the other day. It was a shoe, and you could literally scroll all the way around the shoe. It was phenomenal. Yeah. So, I mean, if you imagine that you can do that with a product, why wouldn't you be able to generate sort of that experience as a full store, that someone could literally come in and shop your store as you would in store, but actually you're on a website.
Yeah, I mean, I think the glasses virtual try-on, right now, is the infancy of what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Virtual reality.
I feel like you're literally going to walk and you're going to be pick and try on, but it's going to be quick, it's going to be fast, it's going to be very immersive experience. But hey, you never know. Maybe we'll just continues to be flat screen type of.
It's going to be interesting to see where it goes.
Completely wrong.
Yeah.